Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything. I'm coming at you with another Wargaming miniature video. In this video, we're going to talk about my new project that I've started for myself. It's the Black Powder Waterloo project. It seems like I'm going to be, over the next year, I'm going to be sharing with you my progress. And this is my Google document that I'm keeping track of, like what units I've completed, what units I need to do, how many men and stuff like that are in the unit. So that kind of lets me know that if I need to make them a small, standard, or large unit. What kind of guns, like 6-pounders or 8-pounders or 12-pounders or whatever. Yeah, so I have, if you notice, I've got French here I put in blue, British here in this light red, and then Prussians over here in a purple. Not British, but the Army of the Netherlands, or whatever they call it, right? Because it has British, Dutch, Belgian, Hanover, KGL, Nassau, Brunswick. Yeah. So, all right. So enough of this spreadsheet. Don't concern yourself too much with the spreadsheet just yet. But just so you know, if you see an F next to the unit, like I've got this right here, the 54th Regiment of Line, 1st Brigade, 1st Division, this F tells me that I've ordered a flag. I've got one flag coming for that regiment. On some of these regiments, like this one, I've got 3 flags, which is good because they got 1, 2, and 3 battalions. Now, are they fanions or are they just copies of the regimental flag? I'm not sure. If I have copies of the regimental flag, that's what I'll use. If I have fanions, that's what I'll use. I prefer to actually use the copies of the regimental flag because it just looks better on the table. You know, all these French flags or whatever just look pretty awesome. But I struggle with wanting to make it historically accurate and making the battalion actually carry the battalion fanions. So I'm not sure about that. If you see these little X's next to the unit, that tells me those units were used or would be used in Quatre Bras, because not everything that was in Waterloo actually took part at Quatre Bras. And as you can see, like some units, I don't have any flags, right? And some units I have multiple flags. And that's the same case for my Allied units, if they participate in Quatre Bras, and do they have flags. A lot of light battalions wouldn't actually have flags, so I didn't need to order them. Okay. I'm not getting into too much detail just yet. This project is fresh. It's new. I don't have a lot of details to share with you. This is more of a heads up. This is what's going to happen. I do have a short video that I'm going to play that shows you the units that I have completed and the ones that they're, it's like, got started, and I got a long way to go. I don't plan on doing every single battalion for Waterloo. Nope, not gonna happen. I just don't have that kind of space. You can just imagine if I made every single battalion for Waterloo, how much shelf space that would be. That would be my entire wall. You know, I'd have to take down all my D&D models and and all my Hail Caesar models and everything. It just couldn't happen. I'm gonna have to. So what I plan to do is do enough regiments or enough battalions to equal the brigades. Okay, so a lot like Napoleon's battles. So like if I do like this battalion, which I've already done, that's what that white is telling me. I've already done the 1st battalion of the 21st line. So that's going to represent the 1st brigade. Right? I'll just put a 1st brigade tag on the back of it so that when we field it, I'm not going to have 4 battalions. I'm just going to have 1 battalion instead. And then I'll have another battalion representing 2nd Brigade. And then those 2 battalions will represent the 3rd Division. If you understand what I'm saying there. And then the divisions might have their own division generals, and then which we can do the division generals, but the division is going to be very small. They're going to have like 2 battalions, but I'm using them to represent brigades. I don't know if I'll have to figure it out. Because some of these brigades have like 6 battalions in them. Like this brigade has 6 battalions. So they might be considered, I might make a large battalion to represent that. Or, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. That's something we'll be working on in the future. I have manpower strengths down, so I should be able to figure out like how many figures. Should it be a small unit? Should it be a standard size unit, or should it be a large unit, or whatever? Still early, haven't figured that out. All right, so let me go ahead and pull up this video that I've got right here. Let's play it. Can you see my mouse? Yeah, you might be able to. These guys are some Hanoverans that I just got finished. All of these have been done in the last month. You can see the guys on the front right are the command stand right there. And those are metal standards. I did another one over here that's got plastic standard. They don't have flags on them because I've ordered the GMB flags and they just haven't come in yet. So these are the Hanoverans. There is like the 4th Regiment, King's Regiment. Those are the Nassau, orange Nassaus. And you can see some of them have individual bases, like these guys in the front ranks. Those would be the skirmishers I deploy. And there's my Brunswickers. Some of these have like that flag there. It's a beautiful flag, but I'm going to replace it with a GMB flag. That was a self-printed flag. Now, some of these here you might notice are wearing stovepipes, like the guys in the very front. I'm still going to use them. These guys back here have the Belgique Shakos. Then this back here is my French light that I just finished. It looks like I need to spray them with a dull coat. I haven't done that yet. But again, they don't have a standard yet. That is the unit that I primed blue. I primed it blue, if you can imagine that. And, whoops, what's the zoom? And I think they came out really good. I'm just going to have to hit them with a dull coat. I think that shine is taking just a little bit too much. Yeah. I'm also coming to the understanding that the regiments are supposed to be 6 bases. Okay, great. Or battalions. And 2 of the bases are going to be deployed as skirmishers. I have these guys set up as 1 base set up as skirmishers, but I should probably also set up the grenadiers as skirmishers too. The flank companies, same thing with the British. I should have 2 bases of flank. And I was just saying that is a Victrix flag, and I think it is one of the best. That's a very nice, detailed flag. It came from Victrix. This one over here is a Warlord. No, that's a... yeah, that's a Warlord French flag. That was a self-printed flag, and that's a self-printed flags. And the 2 self-printed flags are going to get swapped out. That's just a must. But I now realize that units that can do the mixed formation, they need to have 1/3 of their bases skirmishable, if that's a word. And these guys, I put the metal pikes on there for their standards. Yeah, the you might notice the Dutch Belgians, or I'm sorry, the Nassau. I mounted them 6 figures per base. That was a mistake. I needed to mount them 2 figures a base. And unless I was planning on doing them as large units, and if I am planning on, this is something I've been thinking about doing, instead of giving them 8 bases, which would be a large unit, I could still give them 6 bases, just put 6 figures per base. The problem with that is it shoehorns them in to being only a large regiment or large battalion. And by making it 8 bases of 4, I can always just take 2 bases off and just say, hey, that's a standard unit. So I think it's better to stick with the 4 figures per base. Now, on the units that I'm going to do that are small units, like units that say 2 companies were there, like this unit right there, the 95th Rifles, right? Got 2nd Battalion, 600 men or whatever. That's an actual regiment. But this one here, which was only 2 companies, those bases that I've seen, and they do an example of it in the actual rule book, where they take a 6-figure base and only put like 3 figures on the base. They spread them out like skirmishers or whatever. So then they have basically 2 bases of just 6, of a total of 6 figures representing that those 2 companies. I think that's a little light. I think I might just do 8 figures and on 2 stands, but still put them on the larger stands. I don't know. Or yeah, and I noticed the cavalry, even a standard cavalry unit is 6 bases, right? Just like a regular infantry unit. It's got 2 horses on 6 bases, and that's the way I'm going to do it. And then it also showed a small cavalry unit is just 3 of those bases. And so we'll figure it out. we're gonna figure it out. That's where we're at right now. I'm working on just doing random battalions and from different regiments, and then once I get enough, like maybe 10 per side or something like that, then I'll start trying to put them into battalions and regiments and brigades, and we'll see exactly what is what. But I have ordered a bunch of flags, way more than I'm going to need or use. I've got too many flags. I'll probably be selling some of the ones that I don't use, but I ordered a bunch of flags. I wanted to make sure I had enough to cover all the battalions and regiments that I was going to be doing. Something like 36, something like 100 flags. Let me rephrase that. Something like 100 packages of flags, and each package comes with like 2 flags. So that's like 200 flags, and that's for both sides. That's for French, that's for Nassau, British, Dutch, Belgian, all that. Plus I already have a bunch of flags, so I'm probably gonna have like somewhere around 250 flags, and I'm not gonna have 250 battalions. It's not gonna happen. I'm not crazy enough to do every battalion. I've been thinking I am going to rework towards Quatre Bras, but I think I'm going to do it my way and not the way they have it in the book, because I feel it's a little bit inconsistent. I think I'm going to do Quatre Bras with the Nassau in the woods. I mentioned it at NashCon a few years ago when we ran the Quatre Bras game there. The game in the book cuts Jerome and the Nassau completely out of the battle, and I was like, well, that was kind of an important part of the battle where the French were trying to fight their way through the woods to flank the town, and they just completely took that out of the game. I think it was because of the amount of figures that they had. Yeah, and the reinforcements, they didn't do the full reinforcement kind of thing. For the British, I don't think they really needed it because the battlefield was a little bit too tight. So what I think I'm going to do is rework the battlefield a little bit, maybe make it a little bit bigger and make the terrain features separated a little bit more so that there can be a little bit more fire and maneuver. I think it was just a little bit too tight. I know it's supposed to be tight and it's supposed to be a problem for the French, but it was too much. But I think I'm gonna work towards Quatre Bras. But in addition, I want to play a Waterloo game where I'm going to take the map of Waterloo and I'm going to put it on like an 8x12. No, maybe not an 8x12. Yeah, like an 8x12 table. And then, yeah. So I don't own the Albion Triumphant 1. When that comes in, because that's the Peninsula War, but when that comes in, I have it on order. When it comes in, I plan there. I understand that there's a rule in there on how to reshape or resize tables and use different scales. So they might have already done that for me. And I don't think I want to do like a peninsula battle like Salamanca or Corunna or something like that. Corunna would be a good one because that's only like one corps, and I could field one corps. So that actually might, and the French attack lengthwise down the table, that one might actually be something I consider because I could do that in battalion scale. Maybe on an 8-foot wide table. 12 foot long. But still the forces I'm making are not Peninsula forces. They are going to be the Waterloo Belgian forces, but that doesn't stop me from using them. I can use them. I mean, so they're wearing Belgique shakos and not the stovepipes. Whatever. All right, so I will see you in the next video with an update on maybe my progress on my figures and how we're going to do the units and stuff like that. But that I'm not going to talk about like unit organizations and stuff until I get about 10 battalions per side, because then it's a playable army, and then I'm just going to build on top of that. All right, catch you next time.